Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's supposed to be up by tomorrow.
Yeah. Were you on the meeting last night or no?
Yeah. Hmm.
Was it informative or?
Well, yeah, they have an action plan, so Karen
Oh,
will be
good.
talking about that.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent. Because I know I've done the calls and the writing and stuff, but you need such a huge volume for it to make a difference.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, everyone helps. It's just, you need a lot.
Yeah, we're hoping to get a lot.
Hopefully, hopefully. I think a lot of people always think, oh, I don't need to. I'm just one person. Somebody else will do it. But you get
Right.
50 people that think that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and nobody does it. Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm interested to see how Andrew's doing. He moved last.
He seems to be okay.
He's probably better than Lisa because Lisa said he woke up that morning and said, let's go, let's go, let's go. And she was like, what?
He told us my mother was drenched in tears.
Yep, that probably is true.
But that's a mother's dream. I only wish my daughter would
Ah, hey,
be
Sharon.
so ready to go.
I know.
She's still home with me because she ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and Mark was hesitant. And what I was really happy was last weekend, Mark, we were supposed to visit. Usually we go on the weekends. So his dad and I can both go. And last weekend, some people who had no visitors in the month Mark's been there had people coming. And Mark said, Mom, can we skip this week? Because they have had no visitors. You guys have come every week. And I'm really okay if we wait till next week.
Wow.
So I'm smiling. I hang up the phone and I'm like crying.
Oh,
But it's every mother. It is. It makes you feel good because then you know.
Oh, absolutely. That's wonderful to hear. He's happy. He's
most of the time.
he's secure. That's amazing.
I told him yesterday, I said, is it like college? Is it like going away to college? And he said, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he talks to his dog every night. It doesn't really matter if it's me. He calls to say goodnight to me every night. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, you saw Misha. He's like, okay, I'm going to bed now. Or, they're going to put me in bed so I can watch the Islanders. I said, I better hear you cheering. So he's doing pretty well. He still has his moments just like Mark. But I was telling Maura, hopefully a couple more weeks and he'll be well adjusted to be able to come back. I just want him to be confident enough to leave for the day and not be nervous when he comes back that I miss. I want him to be sure.
Sounds like a good plan.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just happy he's somewhere good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge weight. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Linda, where is he?
He is in a house in Melville through Head Injury Association. They had built a new house. So he is there with 5 other guys.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. We had heard, we'd been on the list and had looked around and they had gotten funding for 6 houses. So they have that one. And then the Muttontown house, they're having some trouble getting the residents to agree in the neighborhood. So Melville's great because it's 12 minutes away from me. So 12 minutes from his dad's clinic. So it's perfect. Brand new house. He gets his own room. So it's good. He's getting there. He's getting adjusted. I was just saying he didn't want us to visit last weekend. He wanted to leave the visiting out times for somebody else because after each visit, even though you're outside, they clean everything. So he wanted to forfeit his time for someone else.
That was really sensitive of him.
Yeah, he can be nice. So no, it's great. It is good.
What were the punishments this morning?
51. So we've got Nadine, Melissa, and Sharon. We only have Anna's on the phone. 19 people.
Well, it's 1 minute after. Think we begin, Karen?
Okay, you want to wait 1 more minute? 19.
I would wait 1 more minute. I think we'll have more than 19.
We'll start talking when I see 20. Come on, somebody calling. 20. There we go. All right, we're on.
Just before we start, I want everyone to know I'm recording this, so if you don't want to be recorded, you can turn your video off.
Thanks, Maura. Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to turn it over, frankly, to Sharon, Melissa, Nadine, Diana, Joaquina, to share with everyone what's been going on now that we have begun our 5th week of reopen. Sharon, you there?
Yep.
Yep.
Just
Sharon?
unmute.
Now I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess this morning the way we did it was each manager talked about their program. I guess we can just do it the same way. Joaquina, you want to start again?
Okay.
Hi. So for Life Options, we've been doing really well with reopening. We've added 2 individuals, one in home to receive in-home services and another individual to receive in-person services in-day program. And we have 3 other individuals that are working towards it, whether they're working on medical clearance or transportation to program. So we do anticipate that they will be joining us soon. We're really excited because we're starting to roll out different initiatives. We want to start resurrecting community trips again. We want to, we've also have a spirit month this month where each cluster will participate in different activities. So the first cluster was able to participate in an obstacle course that was timed, and the people on Zoom were able to cheer their peers on, and the people in program were able to cheer each other on. So it was really successful. Each cluster will participate throughout the month. So they're really excited about that, and excited, and the people at home are excited to see their peers as well. We've had very few hiccups, and we do encourage people to just come back to program or choose one of the services that we're offering. We're offering 3: virtual, in-home services, and day program services. And we have room for all. So yes, we do encourage people to return.
Come on down. Thanks, Joaquina.
Come on down, right.
Come on down. You're right. You won. The Price is Right at CP Nassau.
And I just want to mention before, I guess Melissa goes or Nadine, that we have been increasing our numbers weekly, whether that is individuals coming back to program physically or going on Zoom, or have now allowed staff to go into the home. So we're up to 189 people that we're providing services to. And hopefully by next week, it'll be 195. And after that, it'll be even more. So yeah, I just want to commend all of you guys and all the work that you're doing, my managers, because it's your work and your outreach that's getting this done. So thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Sharon.
thank you. Very good.
Thank you, everybody.
Melissa.
Hi. So in site-based, last week we started with 1 individual in the home, and it's been going really well. We got great feedback from the family and the staff member, both very happy with how things are going. So we're looking to increase that. And this week we have 4 new individuals that came back to program, which has been going well. And in site-based, we also started our art Zoom class yesterday, where the guys loved it. They did pools, noodle sculptures, and everyone was so creative. They all started giving ideas of things they want to do going forward, like bringing slime into the classrooms and drawing. So everyone's happy to be back.
Good. Thanks, Melissa.
And I might add 3 of those 4 are from the Malvern residence, which is a state-run residence.
Wow. Okay.
They are have returned, yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, so on Oceanside, we are stable here. We have a total of 27 individuals. However, out of the 27, only 4 individuals that have not returned. So everybody else is receiving services, whether at program, in the home, or on Zoom, or a combination of that. We have individuals that if, let's say the person is tired or they have an appointment, we also have the family working with us that they will still get on Zoom for that day. So we also have a combination of stuff that is working for our program as well. And And we're getting really positive feedback with the individuals that are receiving services in their home from the families. They're really happy and they're sharing that it is working out. And the individuals here are doing well, and they are looking forward to coming to program every day.
Okay, thanks,
Thanks,
Nadine.
Nadine.
Sharon, you have anything to add about Wantagh?
It's the same. I mean, they're still serving the same number of individuals, pretty much everybody except for those who live in outside residences. And they're continually advocating with those outside residences to get those individuals back. Slowly but surely, they're becoming more comfortable
Okay,
overall. But
right. We're at that, almost at that mid-September mark.
almost.
Okay, thanks.
You think of it, guys, for 5 weeks now, we're building it up, and your work, your dedication, and the following of protocols enables families and individuals to feel confident. So thank you. You've done a great job. Last night, many of you I know participated in a virtual town hall meeting. I was unable to be there, but Karen did. And I'm going to ask Karen to recap some of the highlights of last night.
So, for those of you who did not participate, and maybe some of you did, there was, it was hosted by New York City Fairs, and it's basically a family-operated advocacy group, quite large, and they hosted it. They had 3 guest speakers. One was Susan Constantino, who's the CEO and president of CP State. CP State, Robert Budd, who's the CEO of Free Family Residences Enterprises, and also Anchor, which is a national organization, and Winnie Schiff, who works for IAC. So the stuff that Susan Constantino spoke about, we have already spoken about here, so I won't go into it at any great length. The biggest part, and it's huge, that Susan focused on is for people who are in our residential program. So if somebody goes home, or if somebody goes into a camp, or someone goes into a hospital or nursing home, the clock starts, and that would be day 1. When at day 1, there is a 50% less reimbursement to the agency. On day 70, it's 0% reimbursement to an agency. So they're called non-service days. And for a layperson, that would make sense. Why should I pay an agency if the person is not there? Well, I keep saying the same thing. If you were going on vacation, do you call your bank and say, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, so I'm only going to give you 2 weeks worth of my mortgage this month? The bills remain the same. Our staffing pattern doesn't change. The rent, the mortgage, the utilities, and everything remains the same except maybe the food bill. So if they want to deduct $5 for the day or $10 for the day, that would be different. And it's even worse when somebody goes into a hospital, because very often we staff the hospital. So now you're providing one-on-one services. Somebody that can't advocate for themselves needs to be changed, alternate positioning needs to be fed. The agency provides staff for that. So it's actually costs more when somebody goes into a hospital than less. So that is going to be effective October 1st, unless we have the capacity to change it. So Susan went into those type of cuts. That is the one that is the most significant to the agency. Robert Budd was next, again, CEO of Free and nationwide advocacy group called Anchor. And what he spoke about is a website, hashtag Twitter. It's a media site that contacts you immediately to your local legislative representative. We had never, well, I shouldn't say we, there's only a handful of us that have heard about that before. Bob and I had not. Sharon right now is compiling all the information that you're going to need to be able to access that. And it's called hashtag Forgotten Faces. And if you went on the Anchor website, if you went on the New York City Fairs website, if you just Googled, which I did this morning, hashtag Forgotten Faces, it comes up. I open it up through Anchor. You literally go down where it says, do you want to contact your legislators? You click on one link, you add your name and your address, and up pops the legislators that you need to contact, and the content that you need to say. Now you have the ability to add to that content, take away from that content, change it any way you want. But it literally took me a minute to contact Schumer, Gillibrand, and Kathleen Rice. So we're going to be sending out all that information. I tried to do it again really quickly, and it said I had to wait 24 hours. And in the meantime, while I got my second email, I got an email from Kathleen Rice that said, thank you for your correspondence. We'll contact you later with more answers for your questions. So the answer was pretty rapid. It's quickened. It's using social media. It's using our phones. So it's a lot easier. Phone calls obviously is still the most important, but we're going to be sending you out all those resources. It really is easy to use, and we need to bombard them. According to Robert Budd, this is the third time they've been using this to contact all the local legislators. And the first time that they used it, they had over 1 million hits. So that's certainly a lot larger than the 30,000 that Bob talked about for the letter writing campaign, which is still significant, but 1 million is pretty significant. The second one got about 300,000. So again, we're going to be spreading the word and getting as many people involved in that as possible. The third person was Winnie Schiff, and she just talked about the importance of advocacy, and very frankly, I think that we're even ahead of the game of which Winnie spoke about. The one thing that we do want to talk about is the New York State Cares then talked about what it is that we can do. And they are coordinating a mobile rally on September 17th, which is a week from today, between 11 and 12 o'clock, because that's where the PR people said that we could get our biggest bang for the buck. September 17th is a significant date because 30 years ago, Mario Cuomo closed Willowbrook. So on September 17th, we're going to have a message for our new governor, our current governor. So the mobile rally is going to take place in 3 places that we know of right now. That is going to be on Mario Cuomo Bridge. It's going to be around the old site of Willowbrook, and it's going to be around the Capitol in Albany. As of right now, if there is no Long Island site that's scheduled to open, then we would be part of the Mario Cuomo. The New York Fair spokesperson stated that we could congregate off of exit 39 off the New York Expressway, LIE, there's a strip mall right on Glen Cove Road off the LIE on exit 39, Glen Cove Road, where we would congregate. There's a message that's going to be written on the back of everybody's vehicle, and it says gov.cuomo with a greater than less sign, and please do not put us back in Willowbrook, written on the back of everybody's car in window marker. So their New York State Fairs had over 800 people register, and they had over 400 people online, and that's just one group. So we're going to be talking about it today. We just heard about it last night. So at this point, we have a 3-prong approach to be working with the current issues. One is hopefully a lawsuit with the governor, which is not yet finalized, but hopefully we'll be hearing more about that soon. The second is the mobile rally, and the third is the letter writing that we're going to send you that information about the hashtag Forgotten Faces. Anybody that was on the call want to add anything? Okay, I think that those are the 3 things
Hello?
that are the most important.
Hello?
Yes? Yes?
Hi, it's Pat Jacobs. How are you?
Good, Pat.
Thanks, Karen. Yes,
Pat, we lost you.
I don't see any numbers that are unmuted, so Pat, if you get back on, let us know.
Anyone else have any comments or questions, additions, subtractions of what Karen just shared regarding the virtual town hall meeting of last night?
So, all right, so there's one thing that I forgot to add. So you might read some of the messages when you go on the anchor, on the hashtag Forgotten Faces. you might not recognize some of the terminology, the verbiage, and this is, I'm going to say this simply. Medicaid is paid for half federal, half state. Right now, Cuomo is saying, I can't help these cuts because the feds are not giving me my share. Because the feds are saying right now that there's going to be a 10% cut to Medicaid. So if the feds are not giving their full Medicaid share, then Cuomo is saying that he's not going to give his full Medicaid share, which would mean a 10% of Medicaid funding to us, which, as Bob said earlier in the earlier Zoom call, would equate to about $3 million. So we have been writing to Cuomo about our specific concerns. And when you're going to see on #ForgottenFaces is more about pleading with the federal government to give us our share. And if they give us our share, then we can go back to Cuomo and say, okay, you got your federal share. Now you need to give us our due. So in case you see that terminology on the website, that's what it's all about. But Sharon is compiling initially all the information that you need. We're going to work on it together. Right now, there is nothing on the New York City fairs about the mobile rally, but we'll get that out to you as soon as we can. Also, it's next Thursday, so we need to act quickly.
And I just want to mention that they did say last night, if anybody did miss the virtual rally and want to view it, it's going to be on YouTube by Friday. So if you're interested in hearing it live. And I just want to be clear, a lot of us know Anchor as the Anchor program in Lido Beach. That's not what we're referring to. We're referring to an organization, it's ANCOR. I did know what that stood for a few minutes ago, but it left my head. So I just want to make that clear, because in our world, Anchor means Lido Beach Camp. You know, so.
Sharon, did you mean the virtual town hall meeting would be on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes, that's what they said last night.
Okay, so Anchor stands for American Network of Community Options and Resources.
Right.
ANCOR. Good clarification, Sharon, because yes, that's Anchor. We always think our local town Anchor.
And another thing they mentioned last night, although I didn't see it when I went on the New York City Fair's website, they said they have what's called e-cards that I guess you can email also to the governor and senators and assembly people. So I'm going to see if I can explore that a little more. But that's another way of getting messages to our politicians.
So the point was also made, and we didn't mention it in the morning call, the point was made that we need to do this, and yet none of it takes the place of a phone call and your personal story. Your personal, these emails that are going out right now, and as good as this is, it's not personalized. So, and local visits are obviously the most important. Phone calls are number 2, and what we're doing is really number 3. And they really go in that order. They need to have the face and the name with the and story with the ask.
But the numbers help. That's the point of doing these things, right?
Yeah.
The numbers.
Yeah.
So at least it's not useless.
So,
Hello?
Pat, you're back.
Oh, I called in the meantime, and it dropped this call that I'm on with you. Okay. I was asking if there is any possibility of us coordinating some people from our area, to do that drive over the bridge. I don't know whether they're even planning on doing anything in Long Island. So far, there has not been any talk of doing something in Long Island. But
on the
what
first
are your thoughts on that?
So in the first session, I brought up the concept of perhaps going to someplace on Long Island and having a greater amount of vehicles participate, for fear that some might not want to go as far as the Mario Cuomo Bridge.
Right, I can understand that one. Yeah.
And so I said that I would call Walter Stockton, but Karen and I, when we got off of the first one, we called Robert Budd, and he's reaching out to the New York State Fair leader, what's her name?
Ellie Roofer.
And asking what her concept is. We would have to get a focal point here. I think it was Charlie Fleisch who suggested Mario Cuomo's Suffolk County office in Hop Hog. It's not so
Oh,
it's not so easily defined as that. It's more the New York State government office, Karen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, however, we want to be consistent with what New York State Fair is looking to
Yes.
accomplish. And so we're looking for feedback from them, first of all. Second of
from
all,
Robert Bud.
we would not be doing this unless we saw a significant amount of agencies on Long Island that would harness their family members and staff to participate, because we don't want to have 12 cars and be contacted.
Right.
We need to have a substantial amount of vehicles to be able to carry over the same message. So
Mhm.
we'll have a Zoom call next Tuesday in order to stay ahead of this, because the mobile is on Thursday.
Yeah.
The rally is on Thursday, so there's not a lot of time. So by then, we'll know what New York State Fair's opinion is. We'll also then be able to ascertain whether or not we have sufficient amount of agencies on Long Island that are willing to garner the energy that
Participate.
exists and be able to show a significant amount of force behind our words.
So although I agree with everything that Bob said, there's something that's very poetic about going over the Mario Cuomo Bridge, talking about the closure of Willowbrook, that strikes a chord with me. So, but if we can get those equal numbers on the island, that would be wonderful. But we'll, obviously we need to be working on this constantly until that time. It's right around.
Yes,
So we're waiting.
yes, certainly ongoing.
We're waiting for Robert Budd to get back to us. He said that New York State Fair is very responsive, and he was going into a meeting, but he was going to be texting to
Okay,
further.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I haven't heard anyone, on this call, stay concerned about doing anything, actively. I don't know whether there's been I haven't heard anyone else talking about it. I'm sure other people went on the town hall meeting.
We just heard about this last night, Pat, so this is.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone did. It was just from the town hall meeting that we heard about it. No, but I'm talking about right now. I don't hear any other responses. Maybe we got more response from the 11 meeting.
We have the advantage of looking at faces. When you're on the phone, you can't.
Oh, okay, all right.
We're getting nods.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Trish?
Go ahead.
Yes, I think this is a great idea. I think actually at the first town hall meeting, I was saying that nobody's going to pay attention to us, but we should march across the bridge.
Yes, you did say that.
And people, I think Charlie said it was a good idea because nobody really pays attention. They could just throw your letter away. And unless we put it in his face, this is what you're doing to us, to these people, especially on the back of the nursing home, with COVID.
Right.
He doesn't want any more bad publicity, and especially that it was his father that, closed Willowbrook. There's a YouTube video about where Mario gave a speech. And there's a plaque up there about how, I have it written down here what he said, that it was, it's a commitment to provide an extensive and comprehensive program of community living opportunities for its citizens with mental retardation and developmental disabilities. He made that promise. His father made that promise. And unless, we really show a big force of making him hear it, because I don't think he's hearing any of the letters that we're sending. I think that he just ignores them,
Well, we agree with you, and as of right now, the letters are still important, although we're not seeing the action. But again, I do buy into what we heard last night, and that is he's got a very good out if he does not get the money from the feds.
Right.
So if that money is not there, then he's just shrugging his shoulders and saying, I have no choice. I didn't get the support that I needed. And he's going to stand behind that.
Which would be a lie, Bob.
I know.
Mhm.
Just to be clear, it's a lie. Whether we get 50% from the feds or not, his share is 50%. So his excuse that if I don't get 50% from the feds, I can't get 50%. He's not getting that 50%. Medicaid is, and he's withdrawing his 10%. So he's just using it as a lame excuse. Sorry to interrupt. but
So that's,
to be clear.
so that's why we had the message to the feds. We'll have a greater fight.
When you say the feds, who are we writing to?
You're writing to Schumer and Gillibrand, who are already on board. So it seems that Kathleen Rice is the one that needs to be convinced.
Okay.
That wasn't on the list. That wasn't in the letter. All right.
Governor Mario Cuomo also said that Willowbrook occurred because the government was aloof, remote, and not responsive. Those are the characteristics that the current New York State government has.
So we can write what Bob just said on the right-hand side of your car, and Trish, you can write on the left-hand side of the car what you said. We have to leave the front shield clear.
All right.
Any other questions or comments?
Hi, it's Pat again. I just wanted to also to ask you something about Geraldo Rivera. He was very instrumental with the Willowbrook thing, and I tried to write him last night. Somebody put an email on for him, which of course was not a correct email, so it didn't go anywhere. It just was, no mail delivery failure. But I don't know, how would you possibly get in touch with him? Because I think he possibly might be up for something on this, being he was so instrumental in the closing of Willowbrook, that this is the 33rd year anniversary, and here we are looking like it's a possibility we're going backwards instead of, staying where we are even. Does anyone know how I could possibly contact him?
I don't know how you could possibly contact them, except if you wanted to try through Fox News. But WORC, that agency was founded with him as a part of it. The real way, however, that Willowbrook decree occurred was on the backs of families that sued the state of New York. They're the ones that made the change. Geraldo gave very good publicity. But
he gave the publicity. That's what we need.
But don't forget, Robin Kennedy, a few years before that,
10 years.
had also identified Willowbrook for the horror that it was, and nothing occurred. So, the lawsuit to me is the way to, we hope, bring him to his knees. Also, but as Karen said, it's one of 3 current. So no, I don't know who has his contact other than WORC, and I know he still has connections there. So that's the best answer I can give you, Pat.
Okay, so WORC is that an agency?
Yeah, it's an agency that was formed at the time of Willowbrook by parents that were associated with Willowbrook, and they exist in New York City and on Long Island.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Pat, I have an email for Geraldo. It's Craig.Rivera.
Wait just a moment.
Okay.
Can I call you later?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Just give me a number.
You know what, I'll put it, do you want me to put it in the chat? Oh, you're on the phone.
No, I'm on the phone.
Okay. It's 221-5192. I'm going to put it in the chat.
I'm sorry, 321-59. Say it again.
221-5192.
5192. 221-5192. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions, or we'll move this agenda along a little bit?
I don't see
Okay.
any.
So, CP State Conference, some of you have gone to, some of you have participated in the past. They've had a conference every year for many, many, many years. This year, it will be a virtual conference. It will exist from October 26, 27, 28, 29. They'll have different panels. I happen to be serving on one of the panels, and I evidently was either volunteered or I volunteered when I wasn't paying attention to being part of a conference group to help shape some of the other ideas. And one of the ideas that we discussed this week was having a panel of parents and or family members who could speak to perhaps a very large, vast audience of CP affiliate members to talk about what makes you get up and make that phone call and that email, what motivates you to do it, how did you do it, what was your success, in order to help educate, inform, and to spur on the interest and the vitality of what I believe is the most important resource we have, and that is the families and the participants, to be bringing this government to their to the attention of what we're concerned about. So there'll be more to come out on this, but that's one of the things that we'll be looking at. And we'll be reaching out to some of you to see whether you'd like to participate. Again, there's 24 affiliates across the state, so there can't be 24 panelists, but maybe 3 or 4 people, parents, again, family members, who are passionate, who have an ability and a willingness to share what's made them so much of an advocate, and what might make that interest, that same fire burn in all of our families. As what's talked about today, I feel a little bit more encouraged from last night that there is some movement behind what we've spoken about, where I thought Nassau, CP Nassau, was one of the more vibrant organizations in responding to this. In fact, when I was on this other conference call with other affiliate execs, one of them said, you know, Bob, I hear you say this all the time, and I intend to get involved in getting my families involved, and then I just don't get to it. And this is an exec who's very successful, and yet, and said, I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying, but I don't do it. And I think that's my fear, is that people can say, yeah, it's a good idea, but then they don't move from the idea to action. So that's something that maybe the CP conference will give a bigger audience for everyone to hear more so about that. One of the families today shared that she had sent a check for the IV installation, and that it was over a month ago and had not been cashed. Should that happen to any of you, please let me know right away. I haven't had a chance to look into it, but we don't wait a month to cash checks, so perhaps it's been lost along the way. So again, if that were to happen, but that came as a result of our sharing that we're at about $189,000 in donations now. We received another over $1,100 this week. And so, you know, we've come a long way. And many of you on this Zoom call are the reason why we've been as successful. So I thank you all for making those contributions. And any of you that, again, have that check sitting on your piano or on your desk and you meant to send it and you haven't yet, I'd encourage you please to do so. I expect that our end result costs will be somewhere in the area of $215,000, but even $225,000 would not surprise me. So we have all but 3 of our small homes have been taken care of, and those 3 homes will be taken care of also. So again, thank you for the support, and yes, we are still accepting donations. Comments, questions?
I don't see any in the chat or nobody's hands raised. Anybody?
So you're going to be receiving a lot of emails, a lot of correspondence. We need to tell you about how to contact your legislators. We need to tell you about the virtual, not the virtual, the car rally that we're having. So there's a lot that we need to do between now and next Thursday to organize all of this.
So we will have, again, the Zoom call will occur again next
Tuesday. Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh,
We lost Karen and Bob. Wait, they'll be back.
You're there, Pat. We lost Karen and Bob.
Yeah. Oh, we really lost Karen and Bob. Hi, Mark.
Hi. Sorry. Sorry I'm late. Had trouble getting in.
That's okay. We lost Karen and Bob.
Okay, so I just got a
All right,
text.
Sharon, we're back.
We're back.
Oh,
Okay.
you're back.
I
Okay.
just texted Sharon to close out the meeting because we crashed up here. And then we're back. Okay. But I think we're closing out the meeting anyway. Are there any questions or what? So what do people think about the plan? Would be willing to participate in a rally?
I would.
Cool.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we'll be back to you on Tuesday, if not before, but by
Yeah,
Tuesday at the
we'll keep
latest.
we'll keep everybody up to date on what's going on.
So, thank you all.
All right,
Very
thank
much
you.
appreciated.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
great, have a
Be
good
safe.
day. All right,
Be
bye-bye.
safe.